Let me go to 2021. It reminds me of the meeting of Southern governors. It reminds me of the Asaba resolution that banned open grazing. And I remember Garba Shehu questioning the legality of the resolutions of governors from the South. Writing on behalf of Buhari, Garba defended the state in his own way, saying that the constitutional right of all Nigerians to enjoy the same rights and freedoms anywhere in the country is certain, and no governor or governors can change that. One governor that reacted is the then governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu. He called Garba Shehu a pitiable messenger. A pitiable messenger. On this edition of State Affairs, let's talk about that governor that defended his positions, that governor that stood for justice, that governor that wanted the best for the people. I'm talking about Rotimi Akeredolu. On this edition of State Affairs, I'll be discussing with his senior special assistant on special duty and strategy, Doyin Odebowale. Dr. Odebowale, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
I thank you, Edmund. It's nice to be here again.
Akeredolu is no more.
Sad.
Akeredolu was your man.
Was my brother.
Before he even became governor, you've been with him.
Yes, many years before.
It is sad he had to leave at the time he did.
Very sad indeed.
What happened to him?
Well, like all mortals, he took ill and he died. We didn't want him to go, but he had to go. Yeah, you know, I'm still shaken by the, passing of Akeredolu. Because if anybody had told me that he would die before the completion of his second term, I would have argued. Because when I got to know of his frailty, I saw him and I went to meet him. I was in his room, official residence in Akure. He called me. He gave me an assignment and he wanted a feedback. So I waited downstairs and he asked me to come. So I entered his room. So and I saw him. I said, Egbon. I had come to Ibadan for the burial of my former teacher, Nigel Henry. So he said, he had been looking for me and he didn't want to leave any message for anybody. But that was the way we operated. We dealt one-on-one. So, and I said, you are looking okay. You look tired. I said, High Priest, yes, I am, Jerry. I'm just trying to wake up and sleep, and I don't know all these things. And that was when I had the faintest idea, because I always saw him as a superman. I saw him as a man who never complained and who would not hide anything from anybody. He would joke with anything. So when he told me that, I said, Then, of course, the second time that when I really felt that, we were in for a serious problem was when the former CSO now called me and said, Oga, come and see your Egbon, because he had refused to talk to anybody, that I should come. Then I went to see him. He was free, I think he never liked the idea of using drugs and things like that. I said, I said, I should, like that. So that was when before that time, I didn't know. I didn't know that he had any serious. I didn't know. Because he was a man who would not even want to bother you. He was strong. Yes, very strong. He would joke with anything at all. You know. So I'm just trying to come to that realization that he's no more. Because he came into my life in a way that I got to know him through my Egbon Wole Aina. And I got closer to him than my own Egbon Wole Aina. So we were together.
What was that unique thing that Akeredolu brought to the office of the governor?
Well, he was not a politician. He was not. So it was not difficult for him to, he wasn't promising anybody what he was unable to fulfill. He will not tell you what you want to hear. He won't tell lies. So, and he ruled the state with a passion that is indescribable. Because you find him calling me at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to get a report of the assignment he must have given me. Then at 8, you'll be waiting for his speech. I say, this man. Say, I praise. Oh, just stand up. What do you like? So we were that close. It got to the point that there was nothing I could not tell him about me. There was nothing. And as a matter of when I had my issues with the University of Ibadan, at the last time, he just said, look, I told you to leave those people. I don't want to hear about them. Leave them. What are you doing there? You have a law degree and you are staying with those people. Leave them. He will come to UI. He will drive to UI to come and pick me. To come and help him edit. He will drive to UI. Look at you. He gave me an office and said, look, they are sacking a lawyer. Is that not a shame? Look at you. Go and be drinking. So we got that close. And let me quickly say this, that when he was going to contest, in 2011, before 2012 election, I was privileged to have partaken of the decision making at that crucial moment. His people had contacted him. By his people, I mean from Owo. And I want to be specific now. Ibrahim Lawal, the current head of chambers of Olujimi and Akeredolu, followed Chief Akin Olujimi, SAN, to Akure for a matter during the period of Blackberry.
Yes.
And when they got to Akure, they now saw Aketi's posters. That was when Mimiko was still the governor. He was just about completing his first term. He was also eligible to contest for the second term. And Mimiko was Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, the former governor, was Aketi's friend, childhood friend at that. And Aketi participated in the election petition that brought him to office. So they were close. So Aketi was now the Chief Olujimi now called Aketi. Aketi, you didn't tell us that you are your friend. You are trying to, to contest to you and Mimiko. You didn't tell me now. When did it happen? How did you reach there? I said, contest? To cut a long story short, he flew into a very serious rage.
His posters were pasted
in Akure
without
his knowledge. And the man who did it was Kola Olaoye, SAN. And Chief Okuniboku, late Okuniboku, who was the retired director of CBN.
They wanted to conscript him into that contest.
They wanted to. And he did not know. He was not aware of it, so he was not happy. So while he was calling Okola Olaoye and was abusing him, we call dabo. I mean, or dialect. Dabo. La shipo sanyo. Dabo. Ma ba efao. I will, I'll get mad at you. That was when I got him. No, he called me from Staff Club UI, where I was drinking. He said I should come. So I met him. He was still hungry. I said, Egbon, kilo happened? What happened? He now said, can you imagine me? Somebody pasting my posters, me, join those people who tell lies, me.
He wasn't ready for it.
He was not, and I'm happy I have the opportunity to say so. I told somebody like this before. He was not. Kololawoye is still alive. SAN. Akin Okudebogu is dead. Then the third person was Lachey, the man who actually pasted the thing, who was used to paste. Now he's not as educated as the first two. So that was how I said, Egbon, it's boomer age. That it's too much. You really went low with this man. So he's my brother, but don't mind him. Oh, this maybe he found himself in a drinking joint, and some people brought the idea that Aketi can be a politician. These people who say yes and no with equal intensity. These people, they tell lies, they can kill anybody. These people. That was what he told me. And now I allowed him to relax. And I said, I please bow him. I said, Egbon, are they asking you to bring money? He said, no. But politics don't have their time. They tell lies. He was always repeating that.
By that time, he was already defending these same politicians.
Yes, he was their lawyer. Was their lawyer. Very close to many of them. I remember Aregbesola was coming to the law hub when we were handling his election petition, and Olagunsoye Lola was handling him all about. I remember that. Yes, Ibikunle Amosu. All of these petitions, he had a hand. Mimiko. Like that. Adams Oshiomhole. You know, all about Aketi was a galvanizer, you know, but he never for once saw himself as contesting.
Eventually, he had to go into the ring.
Yes, because his people now came, 3 bus loads, they came to Ibadan, the law hub here, to meet him. Then he invited me to come.
This was after his tenure as the president of the Nigerian
Bar
Association.
Yes. So when they came after they held their meetings, because I was not in the meeting, I'm not Owo. So he now called me after they had left. He said, these people are saying this. I said, Egbon, if you ask them to just go like that, the time will come when you need them. It is good enough that they are seeing you as somebody, as an icon, somebody that grew from Owo, that has now been noticed, that has forced himself into the consciousness of Nigerians. Even if you are going to say no, there is a way you will say it that you will not hurt them. I said, even you are saying this. I said, Egbon, that's the way it is. He and I were always abusing politicians. Let me tell you this. He and I were always abusing politicians. And there was a day we were always blocking the road to anybody using siren on the road. We would block. It's either I was driving or he was driving or he would have his driver. We will block. No, we will not allow. And I'm happy to tell you that while he was he was the governor of Ondo State. While he was in office, he never for once drove anybody off the road. He did not. Before, you can ask anybody in Aketi's office, if you booked any first-class ticket for Aketi, you are in trouble. Say, he will tell you. He will fly economy.
Yes, I flew economy with him about 3 times.
Yeah, he will fly. He will fly economy. He will pick his things by himself. Anytime we travel together, I would want to say, he will grab his thing. He won't pick my own. Yes, I will go to use. No, please. Aketi was not ordinary. Yes, he was not an angel. He was not ordinary.
He eventually ran for that election, and he lost.
He lost
to Mimiko.
To Mimiko, yes.
How did he take it?
Oh, he was the one consoling us. After he lost, he said, "Oh, leave the people. Of course, we have tried our best. No problem. No problem. It's service. Then we came back to Ibadan. The following week, he was already in his office. He didn't take it as anything. He was even joking with some of their close friends who felt that the others were contested against Mimiko. He said, "Don't mind Rahman. Was he behaving properly?" He was happy that he did. The man should let him get out. Then the former chief judge, Shende Kumuyi, who supported Mimiko against him, they were all friends. Shende Kumuyi was living in his mother's house at Orogun here. Meanwhile, all our supporters, Shende Kumuyi ensured that they were going to prison because he was with Mimiko. And it will also interest you to know that Aketi's slot was what Shende Kumuyi used to become a judge. Prince Bola Ajibola wanted Aketi to become a judge because Aketi was the PRO to Alao Akabashorun. When Alao Akabashorun was the NBA president, Aketi was his PRO. So Bola Ajibola saw how bold Aketi was. Anytime they met Babangida, anytime they had to do anything with the Minister of Justice, Aketi was young, very young. At that time, he was bold. Then Bola Ajibola said, "You should." Aketi said, "He will not go to any bench. He will not do any salary job." He said he told him. And I said, but he had a friend, very sound lawyer, who would not mind. Bola Ajibola now asked for the name of the man. Aketi told me. Said that was how his name, Shende Kumuyi, became, a member, a civil servant in the Ministry of Justice. Then he became a judge. Then Mimiko took him to Ondo State. So
how was he able to get the ticket of the ACN as a non-politician at that time? Was it easy for him?
It was not easy. It wasn't easy at all. And he didn't have any illusion that it was going to be easy. But he did not know that he was going to be opposed by some of those he had supported, especially when they needed his services as a lawyer. And some of the party leaders said he didn't have money that he could spend and that he was not a politician. He would not listen to people. But I was reliably informed that the elders who were there, Baba Abisi Akonde and the late Governor Abiola Ajimobi, were the ones who intervened and said that no, if he didn't have money, we would support him. That he has been a lawyer, he's been faithful to us, and he had a lot to offer. And that was
and he got a ticket.
He got the ticket, and that was not even the end of the story. Even those who lost the ticket to him were not really happy. So I think the support was half-hearted. It wasn't. They were not as committed as we were, but we were just using it as a learning process. So we were not desperate because Aketi, throughout his lifetime, Aketi did not send anybody to go and attack anybody. You could not attack anybody on his behalf. Aketi would not disobey any court order. He would not. He would not disobey any court order. He just said no, he would not. So Aketi was not the typical politician that would be keeping thugs, that anybody could blackmail to say, oh, because I did this for you during election, then you have to do this tonight. It wasn't Aketi. So he was not under any pressure to do what was right. So he contested as a free agent. So he lost. We had 3 local governments out of 18. That was fair enough for a beginner. So we came back to Ibadan. So, but the 2016 one was very dramatic.
So after losing, he was ready to go again.
He wasn't ready to go again after losing. He came back to Ibadan. But at that time, he had become a politician.
Who is a politician?
Well, strictly speaking, a politician is he or she who engages in the heart of public service. Public service, not politicking. Public service. Because the idea of politics is public service. It is not about money making. It is not, those who evolved this idea of having people, reduce statecraft into an art. Never believe that, because if I can take you back to classics a little bit, the orators, the Greek orators, were reputed to be the first politicians. And the way they practiced their art was that they were good at saying yes and no. In fact, it was they who were the precursors of the modern lawyers. Public speaking, swaying people to their side before, voting by acclamation. So the rhetors, I call the orators, these were the first set of politicians that you had, that they had some education. Those who succeeded them, progressively, what we now find is that you find this sprinkling of the good ones, but the base, you have the dregs of the society, the scum of the earth. When people now tell you that politics is their job, every citizen should be a politician. That is when it will be meaningful when you talk about civic responsibility. You talk about voting, it's politics. You talk about participating in census, it's politics. Community service is politics. Philanthropy that people now use to swindle, the poor, is politics.
Did you say swindle?
Swindle. They use philanthropy, the art of deception. They pretend to be good people, to be benevolent. When what
But they give out. You see them giving out good stuff.
That sin to give out itself negates the very essence of philanthropy. Stricto sensu, you cannot claim to be a philanthropist. Look, Bakantoni in this country, nobody. I knew him in Lagos as a kid. I knew him with a Volvo vehicle, brown Volvo. He was a billionaire. Bakantoni built a Inke house at Ikeja that is now part of a Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. He donated virtually most of his worldly possessions to charity. He didn't mention it. Sir Mobolaji Bak Anthony.
Yeah.
You talk about philanthropy, you have so many people who do it quietly, but when you find people asking those who are unable to feed themselves, those who have been reduced to nothing by the society, by the way the society is structured, you find them queuing up to collect rice from people. That's demeaning. I won't find myself doing that. I cannot. Why should you invite the pressmen to come and be, capturing what you are doing to people?
So Akeredolu was that ideal politician?
To the best of my knowledge, he was.
He came to serve.
He served. In fact, he was careless about his health.
He was careless?
He was careless because he will attend to files. You see a mountain files. He will read every page.
He was that meticulous?
He will sit down. He will read every page. I'm happy for this opportunity you gave me, Edmund. He will read every page. There was a time, I will not mention names of people now, but they know themselves as they are listening to me now. If they get to listen to this, he sent me on an errand, and I came in at around 5:36. That was in 2017. We had just, started. Some months after we got into office. So I met 3 functionaries of the government, top functionaries of the government, in the anteroom. He called, said I should come in. I left my office, then came to his office. As I saw them there, but as I was moving into his office, he was yawning. He was still writing and yawning. And I looked at him, good evening. That thing, how did it go? And I'll give him, because he will use me to verify whatever nonsense intelligence report anybody was bringing, to authenticate whatever anybody was bringing. Because they were also using it to collect money.
So he got intelligence reports every day as a governor.
He must get statutorily. Then he will also use us, who are rooted, to get to the root. If you brought any report about a particular place, and after all, those who are people live in those places, not ghosts. So we'll get to the root now. Then we did the needful. So it was in one of these instances that he sent me to a place, and I came back. That was a year, and I never exchanged any serious. It was through WhatsApp and physical meeting. So I just saw him. He was signing files. And I said, "Egbon, ó ti rẹ̀ yín now. I mean that you are tired. You are yawning. Yeah, what on you? I'm even tired. Do you know I've not eaten?" He was that reckless. And I said, "Call Alabi." That was the chief of protocol. Palabi for me. Call Alabi. And I was like, he just stood up. And he went to. Those people who were waiting to see him said that it was because I went in that I was his babalawo. That, yeah, there was this rumor in Ondo State that anywhere I told him not to go to, he would not go. That if he saw me in the morning and he was prepared to go out, and I said, "Aketi, don't go," he would not go. That never happened. But I'm not going to say that he did not listen to me. In one or two occasions, I would have sent my own advance team. I didn't work with security. They were doing their own. But I would have sent my own. I said, "Egbon, don't go there. It's all lies. Sakamo J. Then they will be waiting for him.
No, tell me, what as governor, what do these men face? What do they face? Because I can hear you say, "No, don't go, it's all lie." Do they face a lot of deception from people?
That office, ordinarily, those who surround them expect a liar, a murderer, a thief, a megalomaniac pimp to be the occupier of that office. Those who surround them. They are not, more often, I don't want to generalize, because I met good people, very good ones. I met decent people, but there are many criminals.
Who deceive the governor?
That is their tough. In fact, if the governor insists on what is right, they begin to fight him. They begin to complain. Then they will join the opposition while they pretend to be in the same party with the governor. They will be leaking official secrets. They will be sponsoring these social media rats, these data boys, to be abusing the governor. Yeah. Most of the attacks came from within.
What do they want? What do they really want?
Money, influence. Many of them will be appointed to serve the people. They won't get back to their villages until another election. And they will say, "Oh, the governor is a stingy man. He doesn't understand politics." Their own idea of politics is bring money, let's share.
So how did Akeredolu protect himself?
He tried his best. Yeah, he tried his best, but of course, those people too were unrelenting. He tried his best. They were unrelenting. At a time, I begged him to excuse me from all official, engagements, as in public outings, ceremony, all of them.
Why?
No, because of what I just told you. They thought I was his juju man, and I'm not an indigenous of Ondo State. My wife is.
So did you come under pressure?
Under pressure. I was almost assassinated now 3 times.